Welcome back, everyone. He toured the state on a bus during his 2006 campaign for state treasurer. He called his campaign on wheels the Common Sense Express. Today's state treasurer, Dean Martin, is here with some common sense for us for the holidays. We'll get to the state's issues in just a second. Let's talk about us personally. What are some of your suggestions when it comes to making a budget and sticking to it as we approach the holiday season?
Well, the toughest thing that most people do is that emotion explosion. They see something, they have to get it for the niece or the nephew or the grandkids. You know, make a budget before you go out shopping and stick to it. Don't let that impulse really throw you over.
I think at the other end of the spectrum, sometimes people tend to procrastinate and wait to the last minute. Is it better to get some deals earlier?
It is better to do it earlier because the longer you wait, the less options there are. You may end up paying more in shipping costs than you do for the gift itself, or what you want to get, it's gone, so you end up paying more for whatever they have left.
All right, my grandparents did this, but I don't know many people who do this now. Everything that you get, you pay for in cash. Do not rack up any credit card bills at all. Is that even, I guess, realistic in this day and age?
It is, but it takes a lot of discipline. You can do it. If you are going to run up credit cards, make sure that you have a plan to pay them off after the holidays. Don't just run them up and then not have any idea. Or there's no cash, no payments, no interest. Things attract a lot of people to buy more than they otherwise would. Don't take those things because the interest rates are really high unless you know you can pay it off rather quickly.
State treasurer, I would imagine in this day and age a pretty tough job.
It's an interesting job, that's for certain. Yeah, you'd think it'd get easier when there's no money to count, but it doesn't work that way.
Well, you've got the governor saying, I think this is the fourth special session since January, trying to deal with, at least in this next session, $300 million in spending. Where are those cuts coming from?
They're actually not enough. They actually had agreed to over 500 a few months ago, and then they were vetoed. So we're $2 billion in the hole. So they haven't disclosed exactly what they're doing, so we don't know exactly where they're going to be. It's going to be spread out all over. But unfortunately, they're not doing enough. We're still, every day we're spending money we don't have. That means larger cuts later in the year or next year.
Is it even possible to balance the budget or deal with this effectively?
It is possible, but remember that discipline about not charging things? It's 10 times harder at the legislature, you know?
You know, I can't have you here and not ask about losing your wife and your son. It was a very public story that we followed, and I thought you handled it with such dignity and grace, because I think most people can't imagine going through that when you lose both. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, I have my moments, but, you know, you got to keep going. You know, this was you know, something you'd never expect, something you don't plan for, but, you know, I know she's still up there. You know, she was a huge Suns fan, and I know she's in heaven because shortly after she got there, they traded Shaq, which is what she always wanted, so.
I remember hearing a rumor that you made that comment. I thought, you know what, that's a great way to look at things. You do a lot, though, in her honor as well, because she was a big proponent of financial literacy.
Yes, financial literacy and water safety, and so we're working to continue her programs, her service.
I imagine keeping busy also helps. Does that mean that you may run for governor because your name's been tossed around?
I'm seriously looking at it, but no decisions till after the new year.
When do you have to make it? January?
Yep, January.
All right, Dean Martin, State Treasurer, thanks very much. Have you ever gotten yourself into a financial hole, ever? I
started a business in college, and you know, of course, starting a business is not cheap, and ran up a little bit to get that going. But you know, it's worked out well so far.
Did you have to have some special sessions to get rid of that debt?
Late night, long hours.
Maybe not 4. Well, we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for joining us.